Hey there guys. So as promised, I'm going to be doing a few videos related to the Christmas period, and I've been working from a few of your suggestions that you guys have been sending in to me either through messaging, commenting, anything. If you've got any other suggestions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below or message me, and I will try and fit it into next week's or the week after's video. So I'm going to be making a timeline for the holiday period just to make it seem a bit more sensible, and I'll just be fitting in your questions throughout that time period. So the first thing is just the general stress of Christmas that a lot of people seem to be experiencing. This is somewhat more amplified for people who have any sort of anxiety disorder, let alone eating disorders. And I know that a lot of people seem to get anxious around the idea of buying presents for people. Now that I'm sort of becoming a bit more independent, last year especially, I was a bit more stressed about buying presents because I just sort of felt that I was at that age where I should be making an effort. But I suppose one of the things that you've got to really realise is that people, most people aren't materialistic. And if you can appreciate that a lot of people would love a gift that has personal value rather than more like monetary value, you don't have to get too stressed about buying the best present for them, because the best present isn't necessarily the most expensive one. Last year, I sent a present to one of my friends, and it was just a photo that it was taken years ago, and he was really happy with it, and it just sort of goes to show when I went to his house a few months ago now, the actual photo was in the front in his bedroom. So it just sort of shows that something that doesn't really have any monetary value can actually be very sentimentally valued to someone. So yeah, don't get too stressed about buying something that is very expensive. The other thing is that a few people are saying that they're stressed about actually going shopping because they don't want other people looking at them or feel as though they're looking at them. Now, the first thing that you can do, obviously, is just sort of not actually go out and do it all on the computer. But I don't think that that is something that you guys should be doing. Uh, the idea that people are looking at you, or you feel that people are staring at you and judging you, it's all in your mind. And one thing that you really have to keep up with are your therapy sessions, and you have to be honest with your therapist, because it's great that you're being so open with me and sending me messages saying that you don't know what to do when you're out shopping. But if you're not speaking to your therapist about this and not understanding the reasons why you're feeling like this, and creating ways to circumvent this anxiety, you won't ever be able to hit it head on, and you won't be able to get past it. So yeah, you could do everything online and it is really convenient, but if you feel as though you want to go outside and you want to be able to do things and be free from your own mind, then you really have to be open with your therapist or the people that you're going out with, because the people who you're going out with, they may not necessarily have an anxiety disorder, so you can tell them, look, I'm feeling really anxious about this, and here are the reasons why. You have to be very specific, because you've got to realise that the person who you're going out with, they have a rational mind. And this isn't me insulting you saying your mind isn't rational. It's me being quite frank that an eating disorder creates irrationality. So you've got to specify the exact reasons why you're feeling anxious. And because this person has got a more rational mind, they'll be able to think of more, just better ways to think about the things that you're having problems with, or perhaps they'll be able to protect you. The other thing that people get stressed about when they're actually going out shopping is that the person that they're with might want to have lunch out, or they might want to have a snack out, and you feel as though you're being dragged with them, and you don't really know what to do because it might not be something that you're accustomed to doing. And the thing that you've got to really get a hold of is a good established meal plan. A lot of people who aren't in official care, they don't have these things in place, and they're doing a lot of things ad hoc. So what you've got to do is you've obviously got to go and speak to someone who is professional and tell them that you need to have an actual meal plan established. Now, some people want to have calorie by calorie meal plans established, some people want to have a more abstract meal plan. And if you feel that you're not ready for a more abstract meal plan, what I mean by abstract is that for breakfast it might say have a bowl of cereal or some porridge or some toast, not actual weights or actual numbers of calories. And then for lunch, you might say have your meat, veg, and your carbs. And people work out how to have these via very arbitrary methods rather than weighing things out. And I'll be discussing that in a later video for Christmas dinner. But if you can have this meal plan established and you actually feel comfortable with it, if someone wants to go and have lunch out, you won't feel as though something's being sprung up on you as much as it would do if you didn't have these things in place. And so what you can do is you can adjust the meal plan later on that day to make up for the fact that you're doing something at that time. You don't have to feel anxious about it. All you've got to do is go with the flow, just do that and think about it later. This idea of suppression, it's one of the mature ego defenses, and it's something that you do to avoid emotional distress because you're just keeping it in the back of your mind. You know it's there, but you know that you don't have to deal with it until later on. And this was something that actually my CBT therapist told me to do, and I found it incredibly useful. He used to say, okay, you've got this thing that's causing you anxiety, and I'll give you a specific example, and it is actually related to a meal plan. When I was in the inpatient unit, there was a change I wanted to make to my meal plan, but I knew that the dietitian wouldn't be in for 3 days. And all that was going through my mind is exactly what I was going to say to the dietitian, because I was worried that she would say no. And I was so worried that she would say no, saying that what my idea was completely ludicrous, but it wasn't. It was just changing one snack of the day to something else that I actually wanted because I was getting fed up with the other thing. And they were kind of equivalent in nutrition. But the amount of anxiety that I was experiencing was absolutely, it was crazy. And he just couldn't get out of my head. So when I was in the therapy session, I told him this. And again, it's important to be completely honest. But he said to me, okay, what you've got to do is you've got this thing, you've got this thought. Put that thought in a box in your mind. And then put that box into a wardrobe. Close that wardrobe and lock it up. With that locked up, don't think about it. Because there is nothing that you can do about it until the dietitian comes, is there? Obviously, there's nothing that I could do because I couldn't contact her. So what's the point in trying to be anxious about it until then? Keep it in the back of your mind and just keep your mind going with other things, whether it be playing video games, studying, whatever you enjoy doing. And if you ever feel as though the thought is creeping back into the forefront of your mind, again, physically put it into the back of your mind. Now, the important thing is that when the thing presents itself, you've then got to take it out of the box and bring it back to the forefront of your mind. Now, he said the reason for this is because if you train yourself to put it away in a box and never actually come back to it, you won't trust yourself to go back to it. So this thing won't work. What you've got to do is come back to it, bring it out of the box, and you can trust yourself that this works. And through positive reinforcement, the next time that you do this, you'll find it incredibly easy to do because you trust yourself that you will come back to it at some point. So, yeah, this is the first video, and I hope it has been useful, and it's just been related to the shopping. The next video I'm going to be doing, it's going to be the approach to Christmas with people coming over, and then my final video will be related to the meals around Christmas. If you've got any other suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching.